Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC. Massive Liverpool transfer updates are breaking fast, and we've got it all right here. From Fabrizio Romano confirming a done deal to Harvey Elliott's emotional goodbye, the transfer window is on fire. Plus, fresh updates on Alexander Isak, a Darwin Núñez domino effect, and Mark Guéhi's big decision amid Liverpool interest. Hit that like, subscribe, and let's dive into today's explosive LFC news. YNWA. Romano reveals fee as Liverpool transfer is 100% done, with Germany medical mooted. A deal between Liverpool and Al Hilal is 100% done for Darwin Núñez as the Saudi side wait for a green light to complete a medical. The Reds still want to sign another new striker this summer despite getting a deal for Hugo Ekitike over the line last month in a big deal from Eintracht Frankfurt. Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak has now become a serious possibility for Liverpool after the Sweden international told the Magpies that he wants to leave for Anfield. Liverpool had a £110 million bid turned down by Newcastle, but the Reds will bid again if they see the Magpies have signed an adequate replacement for Isac. The Reds are attempting to raise money after bringing in 6 new players already this summer, and Núñez looks to be next out of the door after Luis Diaz completed a move to Bayern Munich last month. Fabrizio Romano revealed earlier this morning that Al Hilal are getting closer to striking a deal for Núñez with a verbal agreement in place with Liverpool. Read, one priority position per Premier League club, Arsenal winger, Man United striker, Liverpool centre-back. The transfer expert wrote on X, exclusive, Al Hilal are close to getting Darwin Núñez deal done after verbal agreement in place with Liverpool. Club-to-club agreement is done, while Al Hilal are in talks with Darwin over personal terms. Decision up to Núñez, but talks underway, Inzaghi wants him. And Romano was back with another update later in the morning. He added, more on Darwin Núñez and Al Hilal exclusive story. The agreement club to club with Liverpool is 100% done. Understand initial fee will be €53 million plus add-ons to reach to bring package higher. Talks with Darwin ongoing to get green light on personal terms. While another transfer journalist, Ben Jacobs, gave his own update, he continued on X. Darwin Núñez close to an agreement with Al Hilal on terms, as at Fabrizio Romano called. Club-to-club talks expected to move swiftly if Núñez informs Liverpool he wants the move. Suggestions a €65 million fee is already agreed are premature. Certainly a feeling a deal can be struck quickly if player buy-in comes, but Liverpool are still waiting for a formal approach. Before later adding, Al Hilal hope Núñez can undergo a medical in Germany pending his green light to join. Former MLS star and Venezuela international Alejandro Moreno insisted earlier this year that Núñez has become useless to Liverpool. Moreno told ESPN FC in March, what has happened with Darwin Núñez is that he has allowed the fact that he has not been scoring goals affect the rest of his game. He can still give you the hold-up play, he can still give you runs in behind, he can still give you all of that, and he is not. Harvey Elliott issues emotional statement as Liverpool transfer exit completed. Harvey Elliott has spoken out after his close friend Tyler Morton left Liverpool and joined Lyon from a £15 million deal this summer, with the midfielder departing Anfield after 14 years. Harvey Elliott has sent an emotional message to his close friend Tyler Morton after the 22-year-old completed a permanent move away from Liverpool. Morton joined Liverpool at the age of 7 and was a boyhood fan. He came through the club's academy and made 14 senior appearances, having made his competitive debut back in 2021. However, Morton has now departed the club, joining French side Lyon in a £15 million deal. And Elliot, who became good friends with Morton after joining Liverpool from Fulham as a 16-year-old in 2019, says he is so proud of the midfielder. In response to Lyon's announcement video, Elliot wrote on his Instagram story, my brother at Tyler Morton 6. So proud my mate. Deserve it more than anyone, 2 red heart emojis. Elliott could also be on the move this summer, with RB Leipzig hoping to sign him as a potential replacement for Xavi Simons. Simons is on the verge of joining Chelsea for £60 million and Leipzig have made contact with both Liverpool and Elliott over a move. Elliot is a boyhood Liverpool fan and is understood to be reluctant to leave, but is prepared to move on for the good of his career. The 22-year-old made just 6 starts across all competitions last season and admitted he is open to leaving Anfield while on international duty with England at the Under-21 European Championship. It's just a situation that me and the team have to have a conversation about because I'm coming into an age now where I'm 22, I'm going to be 23 next season, Elliot said. I don't really want to be wasting years of my career because it's a short career. You don't know what's going to happen. I need to reflect. I need to see if I'm content in doing what I'm doing and how can I improve as a player because that's the most important thing. I just want to improve and be the best possible version of myself. If that's to go somewhere else, then it's a decision that I'm going to have to make and I just need to see what happens. Nothing makes me want to leave. I love the club, I love the fans, the team. I support them as well. But most importantly, it's just about what's best for my career. Eddie Howe's statement on Alexander Isak as decision made on Liverpool transfer target. Newcastle striker Alexander Isak's future remains unclear after Liverpool saw their first transfer bid rejected for the Swedish striker, who has been made to train alone after returning to Tyneside. Fed-up Newcastle boss Eddie Howe insists Alexander Isak must take responsibility after being banished to train on his own. The unsettled Swede was barred from attending a bonding session at the club's training ground when players' families were invited. And Isac was told not to report in until later in the afternoon when his teammates had left. It is the clearest indication yet how angry Howe is with his prize asset whose dream move to Liverpool is in jeopardy with would-be replacement Benjamin Sesko rejecting Newcastle in favour of Manchester United. The striker missed Newcastle's Asian tour with the club saying he had a minor thigh injury and he then took himself off to his former club Real Sociedad's training complex with Howe only finding out via the media. While the Toon chief has not directly criticised Isac in public, he made it clear how irked he's been at recent events last weekend, announcing he must earn the right to train with the squad again. Howe said, "The player has a responsibility here to be part of a team and part of a squad and you have to act in the right way. No player can expect to act poorly and train with the group as normal." And he's followed up those words by getting tough, excluding Isac from yesterday's family get-together and not involving him in first-team training. How long the 25-year-old is forced to train on his own remains to be seen, but the embattled Howe has a delicate balancing act to perform following the latest transfer target to snub Newcastle. Unless the Magpies head coach can bring in another striker he feels is a suitable replacement, Newcastle will not consider selling Isac. At the same time, if the situation remains as it is when the transfer window shuts, Howe will have the difficult task of having to rely heavily on an unhappy player who has made it clear he no longer has a future on Tyneside. Newcastle have friendlies against Espanyol and Atletico Madrid tomorrow night and on Saturday at St James Park, and perhaps not surprisingly, the club have decided against holding a press conference before the 2 Sela Cup games. Jamie Carragher uses Erling Haaland to double down on Liverpool transfer point after fan backlash. Jamie Carragher has questioned Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander Isak, with the Reds continuing to be linked with a move for the Newcastle striker after signing Hugo Ekitike. Jamie Carragher has doubled down on his comments about Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander Isak after questioning the way his former club has gone about its business. The Reds continue to be strongly linked with the Newcastle striker, despite having a bid rejected for him last week, and no plans currently in place to submit another offer. The saga looks to be far from over though. Isac was forced to train away from the rest of his teammates on Wednesday, with Eddie Howe also telling him to stay away from a family event being held at Newcastle's training ground. Meanwhile, the Magpies' failure to land Benjamin Sesko looks to have created another roadblock to a potential exit for the Swedish international. Nevertheless, there is a growing sense that Liverpool's pursuit of Isac might not be over, something that Carragher has been left confused by. The former defender questioned Liverpool's attempts to sign Isac as he appeared on the Overlaps fan debate, given the signing of Hugo Ekitike already this summer. "He will be an amazing signing, but from a fan's point of view for myself, I don't want Liverpool to spend £150 million on Isac, Carragher said. There's something about Liverpool buying another striker, Elliott, and he's back up. Something about it doesn't feel right to me. I know Liverpool need numbers, for a number of reasons, at the top of the pitch. I look at Isac, and he's obviously thrown his toys out the pram once Arsenal signed a striker and Liverpool signed a striker. From his point of view and from his agent's point of view, do they not tell Newcastle months ago that they wanted to move on? It feels a bit messy to me now. For me, when I think of Liverpool, it doesn't look really planned. I don't think the plan is to buy a striker for £80 million, and then be looking to buy another one for £120 million. Carragher's comments have come in for some backlash online from Liverpool fans, many of whom see Isac as the club's dream signing, and feel there would still be a place in the side for Elliott given he is also capable of playing on the left. Carragher though isn't backing down, insisting he can't see how both Elliott and Isac could play regularly at Anfield, and drawing upon Erling Haaland and Harry Kane to back up his argument. When you have a top striker, like Isac, Haaland, Kane, it's very difficult to have quality backup as they always play, Carragher responded to one fan on X. Darwin Núñez agreement could spark transfer merry-go-round as Man United makes $98 million offer. Darwin Núñez is set to leave Liverpool after 3 underwhelming years at the club, and it could have a domino effect around Europe as a host of top clubs look to sign new strikers. Darwin Núñez's prospective move to Al Hilal could spark a merry-go-round of striker transfers. It has felt likely for some time that Núñez would depart Liverpool this summer, and it emerged on Wednesday that Liverpool has agreed to sell Núñez for a fee that could rise to $75 million. Núñez was the subject of interest from clubs in Italy earlier in the window, most notably Napoli, but the Serie A champion ultimately withdrew its interest due to the player's price tag. More recently AC Milan emerged as the most likely Serie A suitor, but the San Siro club will have to turn its attention elsewhere as Núñez prepares to take his career to the Saudi Pro League. Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund is also on Milan's radar, and the Rossoneri could now accelerate a move to sign Højlund now that Núñez is out of reach. Højlund scored just 4 Premier League goals for United last season, and he could soon be surplus to requirements as the Red Devils close in on a deal to sign Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. Sesko has reportedly agreed personal terms with United over a $98 million move to Old Trafford, with an agreement between United and RB Leipzig over a fee not expected to be an issue. That Sesko deal could also impact Liverpool's chances of signing Alexander Isak from Newcastle, as the Slovenia international is currently the Magpies' first-choice striker transfer target. United, though, appears to have won the race to sign the 22-year-old, and there is very little chance of Newcastle letting Isac leave without lining up a suitable replacement for him. Liverpool saw a $146 million bid for Isac rejected last week, with the offer falling well below Newcastle's valuation of the player, which is believed to be closer to $200 million. It was widely reported that the swift manner of Newcastle's rejection put Liverpool off from making an improved offer, but it is believed that the Reds do intend to return with an improved bid if they receive encouragement that a deal could be done. Liverpool has already spent heavily this summer, with the Reds committing around $400 million to deals to sign Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez and Georgi Mamardashvili. Liverpool agreed to sign Mamardashvili last summer, but it counts as a 2025 transfer on the books. However, those signings were made possible by the club's shrewd sales in the transfer market, and Tyler Morton's move to Lyon for $20 million on Tuesday took the money that Liverpool has raised through player sales this summer to around the $180 million mark. Mark Gahey makes his mind up about Crystal Palace's future amid interest from Liverpool and Newcastle. Newcastle fans are bracing themselves for even more disappointment in the summer transfer market. It has been a frustrating transfer window for Newcastle United so far, with a flurry of players turning their noses up at the idea of moving to St. James Park. RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko reportedly favors a move to Manchester United. Brian Bumo came to the same conclusion. Goalkeeper James Trafford chose Manchester City instead of Eddie Howe's side, and Joan Garcia opted to join Barcelona. Newcastle fans are bracing themselves for even more disappointment in the summer transfer market. It has been a frustrating transfer window for Newcastle United so far, with a flurry of players turning their noses up at the idea of moving to St. James Park. RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko reportedly favours a move to Manchester United. Brian Bummel came to the same conclusion. Goalkeeper James Trafford chose Manchester City instead of Eddie Howe's side, and Joan Garcia opted to join Barcelona. At the same time, striker Alexander Isak wants to leave the club, with Newcastle's issues only getting worse. Now, another player wanted by the Magpies has made his mind up about his future, and it's not good news for the club. According to the Standard, Mark Gahey would rather join Liverpool than Newcastle if he leaves Crystal Palace this summer. The 24-year-old centre-back is entering the final year of his contract, and Palace have set a £40 million asking price. So far, no formal bids have been made, although Newcastle submitted multiple offers last summer for the England international. But Gahey reportedly sees Liverpool as the better move and is prepared to wait. If no deal materializes, he's content to stay at Palace and leave on a free at the end of next season.